Slenderman. It's time we talked about Slenderman. The myth, the man, the legend, the tall thing in a suit that lives in the woods and kidnaps children.
A lot of things have been completely ruined by the internet. Like cats, Pop-Tarts, rage comics, the musical credibility of South Korea, Chuck Norris. But nothing's been ruined quite like the tall, faceless, interdimensional Lovecraft reject we all know as Slenderman. I am getting so sick of Slenderman. The videos, the pictures, the movies, the games. Slenderman is pretty much Michael Jackson at this point. He's a celebrity, one of the most talked about things on the internet, and he doesn't even have a face. Tell me, why is everyone so scared of him? Is it because he wears a suit and tie? Because I think that's quite sophisticated for an interdimensional beast. Or maybe it's the fact that he's a complete ripoff of Nurgle from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Mind blown. The thing is, Slenderman actually used to be kinda creepy. He started off as an internet myth, rooted in eerie photographs manipulated to look real and then spread about on message forums. It was fun to talk about him, to make up stories and convince people he might be real. But those were the good old days. Now he's more popular than fucking La Chupacabra. He's got the internet littered with fan drawings, fan comics, fan fiction, Slender videos, Slender pictures, Slender porn. And, of course, Slender games. So many damn Slender games. Slender the 8 pages, Slender the 9 pages, Slender the Arrival, Slender the Remake, Slender's Woods, Slender 2D, Slender Flashlight, Haunt, the real Slender.
Gotta love the creativity in these names. Haunt, the real Slender. Terrifying.
If there's one thing I really don't get about Slenderman, it's the games. Why are these games so popular? They're all exactly the same, and they're not scary. I'm sorry, but they're not. Take Slender the 8 Pages, the first game to ever be based on the character. This game was released about 2 years ago, and it blew up. Aside from being an endless money farm for YouTube Let's Players to roll around in until they die, this free downloadable indie game was an unexpected monster hit in the horror gaming scene. Everyone was playing it, everyone was talking about it, and a lot of people now regard it as one of the scariest indie horror games ever made. And you know what? I don't get it. Not only do I think this game isn't scary, which it isn't, but I also think it's, well, boring. All you do in this game is walk around the woods collecting 8 pieces of paper, while Slenderman, or Slender Woman, who knows, maybe he's a woman, chases you around trying to catch you, popping up every once in a while and going boo. It's nothing but jump scares. And they're not even good jump scares. This game hardly ever makes me jump. Just watch.
Oh my.
The game is too repetitive to be scary. There's nothing interesting about it. There's nothing absorbing. Slenderman doesn't really do anything. And to make matters worse, you move at the speed of snail sludge. I guess I would give the game some credit if it were, say, challenging. But it's not challenging. Slenderman is really easy to avoid. The only way I ever die in this game is when Slenderman teleports right in front of me, making it impossible to run away from him. 'Cause, yeah, that's fair.
I guess I'm being kind of a hypocrite here, saying how much I love SCP Containment Breach, which is basically the exact same thing, only scary.
I don't know though. I think the scares in SCP Containment Breach are a lot more interactive than the scares in Slender. Slenderman just stands around staring at you like he's upset you didn't show up to his birthday party or something. SCP-173, on the other hand, breaks your neck whenever you blink. It's more scary. Honestly, I wouldn't even be comparing Slender to Containment Breach, except guess which one came first? Yeah, SCP Containment Breach. It came out before Slender. No one was calling Containment Breach revolutionary or mind-blowing when it came out, and yet Slender's one of the most successful indie games in history. Why? And it's not like the other games are any better. I've played all the Slender games at this point, and not one of them has ever impressed me. Well, actually, I take it back. Slender's Woods is pretty cool. It has a few decent jump scares, and unlike the 8 pages, it actually has you doing interesting things. There are some good moments here and there, and the game lets you explore some more interesting locations. Although it does have a really dumb sequence near the end in which you have to... spoiler alert. Chase after Slenderman with a gun and shoot him.
Okay, Slender Game Making 101. You do not have the player chase after Slenderman with a gun and shoot him. That's dumb.
If I had to pick the scariest Slender game, even though none of them really scare me, I'd probably have to go with Slender the 9 pages, because it all takes place indoors. You know, I think Slenderman is a lot scarier indoors than he is outdoors. It's a shame that most of these games have you spending your time outside rather than inside. I actually get pretty nervous in places like this. Though the gameplay still gets repetitive and boring after about 10 minutes. A lot of people say their favorite game is Haunt, the real Slender, recently renamed to Haunted Memories. But that one's probably the most boring of them all. It definitely looks nice, and I have to admit, Slenderman looks really cool in this one. But the gameplay is so slow. The world is way too big, and you move so slowly, it feels like it takes hours to get from one place to another. And Slenderman still doesn't scare me, because, well, like always, he's really easy to avoid. But hey, at least Slenderman has really long tentacles in this one, just in case you're wondering what it's like to be penetrated from both ends. My favorite of the games would have to be Slender the Remake, just because... well, look at Slenderman in this one. Yeah, nice remake. And then there's games like Slender the Arrival, which you have to pay for. And even that one's not great. It's pretty looking, I guess. And the music is actually pretty decent. But it sure as hell isn't worth $10. It's repetitive and silly like all the others. Slenderman doesn't do anything. It's really short. And the jump scares shrivel up pretty quickly.
So, like I said, none of the games have ever really impressed me. I'm not scared of them, and I don't enjoy playing them. Yet, still, everyone else seems to enjoy them. So what's my problem?
Well, I'm not gonna say it's Slenderman, but it's Slenderman. Slenderman in general is just not a very scary creature. He's not even a very creative one. He's about as basic as a monster can get, and I've always thought his design was way too simple. He's tall and he kidnaps children. Okay, well, is there anything interesting about him? Humans have been scared of tall things in the woods for centuries, and Slenderman just brings that fear down to the most boring level. And trust me, I know, there's nothing scarier than an interdimensional monster. If you compare zombies, werewolves, aliens, vampires, all the major types of monsters in recent memory, interdimensional monsters definitely take the cake. After all, that's what made H.P. Lovecraft so great. Alien monsters teleporting from different dimensions? That's freaking scary. But I think what ruins Slenderman for me is just how oversaturated he is. I've been hearing about Slenderman for years. I'm sick of seeing him, I'm sick of reading about him, and I think it's time to move on to something else. Lest your brains explode.
So, I understand why people are scared of Slenderman, I guess. But honestly, he's just not my cup of tea. Now the Marble Hornets videos, on the other hand, we'll talk about that in another video. And if anyone sends me another damn Slender game, I swear to God. Hello?
Actually, you forgot a game. It's called Slenderman Shadow.
I don't care!
Hey, in case you didn't know, I'm now a part of ThatOneVideoGamer.com. If you like my videos and you want to see more awesome videos by more awesome people, click on this link to go check out the site. And stay tuned for more hidden games and more Jordan Underneath.